Welcome to the ultimate winter wonderland of Switzerland, to Zermatt. Whether seeking breathtaking mountain views, relaxing in cozy alpine hotels, chasing powder on the slopes, Zermatt is the destination for your winter escape. This ultimate winter travel guide, we're covering everything you need to know, from top activities to insider tips. So grab your gear and let's dive into your dream winter adventure in the Swiss Alps. Hello everyone, you're watching probably the most ever complete winter travel guide about Zermatt here on YouTube. This is already my 9th visit up here and I've experienced and seen a lot in Zermatt. In this video I'm sharing with you all important things you need to know, from what attractions to see to practical tips, and then also what mistakes you should avoid. Alright, and now let's dive in. Unlike most of the other tourist destinations in the Swiss Alps, Zermatt cannot be directly reached by car. The only way to reach Zermatt would be by train. You either may take the train from Fischb or any station further up. However, latest at Tesch, you'd have to take a train. Zermatt is a car-free village. The only vehicles allowed up there would be horse carriages or, for this town, typical electric shuttles. When you book a hotel up there, then they will usually send you a taxi to fetch you from the train station. From Fischb it's going to take you about 1 hour to reach Zermatt. From Tesch the train ride takes only 20 minutes. One of the best attractions here in Zermatt is the train to go up to the Gornergrat. It's just next to the train station, so very convenient for you to arrive in here. Now, there is a money-saving tip. Normally the return ticket costs 88 Swiss francs, but if you come here after 12:24, then you can pay only 66 Swiss francs. So for all of those who are short in budget, this is your way to go up to the Gornergrat. Before I share the less known activities and places up in Zermatt, let's first start with the most typical attraction, the Gornergrat. While heading up to the Gornergrat, you'll be experiencing a fantastic train ride up to 3,100 meters above sea level. During this roughly 40 minutes ride, you'll see the Matterhorn from various perspectives, so make sure to open the window once in a while. But hey, do not do that too often to not annoy the other passengers in the train. The most beautiful parts of the ride would be right at the beginning of the bridge in the village, during the first incline, the straight part right after Riffelsee, and then the last bit shortly before reaching the Gornergrat. Thus, always make sure to keep your cameras ready. The Gornergrat is the most popular viewpoint of Zermatt, but here I need to mention it's not the only great station for enjoying a fantastic panorama over the Swiss Alps. The experience at these lookout points will be very different from here at the Gornergrat, so they're absolutely worth visiting as well. Some of them are even cheaper. So make sure to continue watching to not miss these attractions that I'm going to show you in the following part of this video. From the Gornergrat you may see the Matterhorn from the side. From there it looks pretty much like a triangle, and you may think the Matterhorn has a perfect pyramid shape, but is it really true? Well, that we're going to resolve later. Not only will you be able to enjoy a great view over the Matterhorn, at the Gornergrat you're very close to the glacier, most notably the Gorner Glacier. Other important things to see are the summits of the Dufourspitze, the tallest mountain of Switzerland, the Allalinhorn, as well as the Kleinmatterhorn, that is by the way also accessible for tourists. Let's stay at the Gornergrat because most probably you're unaware of what else you can do after enjoying the great view. You may go for lunch at the Gornergrat restaurant, but now let's load some action vibes. Take the train heading down, but immediately get out at the first station. That one is called Rothorn. Just next to it, there's this rock where you can enjoy a nice view to the Matterhorn. It's a really great photo spot with much less tourists already. Around 5 to 10 minutes of walking down, you can reach the Riffelsee. That's the famous lake that usually shows perfect reflections of the Matterhorn. Now during winter, highly likely the lake is frozen and you won't be able to take this photo. But hey, Santa got a much better plan for you. While the lake is frozen, you may do some ice skating on it. Johannes and I, we had a lot of fun in here during autumn. It's going to be pretty much the same even during winter. The Rothorn station may rent a sledge and ride down to Riffelsee, probably one of the most scenic toboggan runs you can try in Switzerland. Very thrilling, the Matterhorn visible all the time. My friend Reese and I, we had a lot of fun, so it'll be for you should you try this out. Now important, you can only do this once as your train ticket, even if it's a return ticket. It's only valid for taking the train into either of the directions once. If you have a ski pass, then however you may take the train as often as you want, but maybe you don't want to wear your ski boots for sledding. Zermatt is one of the most beautiful villages of Switzerland. It's a typical alpine Swiss holiday town full of traditional houses, chalets and hotels. When you're roaming around the village, you'll see the old and new blending together quite nicely. My favorite parts are the river promenade, as well as the old town at where you'll get to see numerous Stadelhouses. These are very typical for the canton of Valais. Great is also this street. It's quite touristy and it shows how commercialized Zermatt has become, yet I really find it enjoyable to walk around here, going for coffees, meals or shopping. So if you want to go to the old town of Zermatt, then at this corner, where it's usually pretty crowded, there's just this alley here, Hinterdorfstraße. That will take you to a really beautiful part. We're now here at the old town of Zermatt at the Hinterdorfstraße. There are many of these stereotypical old houses that we call Stadelhouses, and they stand on these legs, Stadel legs. You can see those stone plates. We call them mouse plates, and they prevent mice and rats to enter the house where usually people in the past were storing wheat or other nutrients. Quite worth is also a visit to the church since it has a really beautiful interior. During sunny winter days, Zermatt is just very nice to experience. Looking at the various houses and hotels with their roofs covered with loads of snow, one can feel the Winter Wonderland vibes being present in here. There are many good reasons to visit Zermatt only on a day trip, especially if one only wants to experience the panorama on the summits and the view to the Matterhorn. However, after having visited Zermatt for 9, as of now even 10 times in total, I felt it was the most enjoyable when having stayed overnight. Once the sun disappears during the late afternoon behind the Matterhorn and the darkness sets in, Zermatt is starting to glow. There are these 15 minutes after sunset where you can see the contrast between the snow, glowing in cool colors, and the many lights that spend some warmth. To me, this is the moment when the Winter Wonderland feeling is coming up the most. Thus, it's definitely a great choice to plan your dinner around 1 hour after sunset, in order to have enough time experiencing this town during dusk. Okay, here an important mistake to avoid here in Zermatt. I've taken a taxi and I do have to say it is very expensive. So some of the hotels, they offer you vouchers worth 20 Swiss francs. Well, depending on where you stay, a taxi can be 40 or maybe even 50 Swiss francs. But if you're having any of these vouchers, well, then you're safe. So you might save already more than 50% of the costs. Before I'm going to show you more panoramic attractions and other things they can do in Zermatt, I would like to share with you an important truth. I know to most of you visiting Zermatt means to see the Matterhorn, however that's not always going to be possible. Not every day is going to be sunny, which limits the visibility, and the Matterhorn is going to be hidden up in the clouds. On other days, you may actually get to experience good weather, but as the Matterhorn is the queen of the Swiss Alps, it does not only attract numerous of visitors, but at times also clouds, which are going to hide it from you. You then may wonder if your trip to Zermatt is actually going to be worth it, even more if some of the attractions are going to be closed due to bad weather conditions. Well, let's put it this way, Zermatt still has a lot to offer. If you do experience heavy snowfall, then the village is going to be absolutely magical. Strolling among the streets and narrow alleys at day or night will be very enchanting. Zermatt also has numerous cafes and nice restaurants that you can go to. To mention a few here, Elsie's Champagne and Wine Bar, the Valais Aosta, this beautifully decorated house with its cool bar outside, the Swiss Chalet or Valais. If you choose to book one of the fancier hotels, some of them have an amazing spa where you can refuel yourself by some wellnessing. I've tried a few of such hotels. I really like the Hotel Christiania with its large swimming and lovely whirlpool, the Hotel Beau Rivage or the Hotel Sonne, which has a stunning outdoor wellness section just by the waterfall. And should there not be enough of bad weather alternative plans, you may even go for a winter hike. I've tried that in 2023. I even made great new friendship with Tatiana, who loves coming to Zermatt for skiing. No worries, I'm going to expand further on some of the hiking trail options in the later part of this video. Zermatt is a place of amazing lookout points, which has been attracting tourists since decades. Among the viewpoints, the one at the Rothorn is less popular than the more famous Gornergrat and the Kleinmatterhorn. However, in my opinion, in order to get the best view over the Matterhorn, one has to make his way up to the Rothorn. There are 3 rides to take: the underground train up to Sunnegga, followed by a beautiful cabin ride up to the Blauherd. I'd say the view from there is already pretty good. In general, access to the Blauherd station is given on a daily basis, so for some of you this might be already good enough. There are also terrace restaurants to go for lunch, which makes this place quite accommodating to pedestrians. By taking the 3rd ride, you eventually will arrive on the top of the Rothorn, from where you'll be able to enjoy a fantastic alpine panorama. You can see the most important summits, including Dufourspitze, again the Kleinmatterhorn, the Valais and also the Findeln Glacier. From the Rothorn you get a perfect frontal view over the Matterhorn. In my opinion, from there you'll get to see it from its most beautiful side. There's also quite a good restaurant up there, which will make your day even more enjoyable. Surely it's a great idea to go there for a hot chocolate or a glühwein. As you can see, there are definitely many reasons to speak for coming up to the Rothorn. In addition to that, among the 3 top lookouts, this one here is the cheapest. When you're heading up to the Rothorn, you may also want to try going for a winter hike at Sunnegga. From there you can hike down to Findeln, which is one of the easiest and most scenic hikes you can take in Zermatt. It doesn't really matter whether you're going to have good or bad weather. I've experienced both and I have to say they have their charm. The first part down to Paradise is a bit steep, but up from there your hike is going to be really fantastic. The hike then continues through a small village. There are many houses which make great photo motifs. In here I met Tatiana, who joined me on a winter hike, and we became friends up till now. We even went skiing together 1 year later. The hike continues down to Furi, one of the most popular restaurants in Zermatt. Well, guess why? With this scenic view and the Matterhorn in the background, can it get any better? Certainly, Hanafi very much enjoyed his visit to this restaurant. The hike either may continue through the village of Findeln down to Zermatt, or you can take the chairlift back to Sunnegga. From Furi, it's only about 2 to 3 minutes. And when you're done with your winter hike, go for an après-ski party at Cervo. Pretty cool place with great music and a fantastic Matterhorn view. By the way, if you want to know very beautiful spots in Zermatt just like this one here are located, you can purchase my Djemo Graphic Map. You just need to do it once. It's going to be ongoingly updated. You can see all over Switzerland, and especially in Zermatt. I've posted a lot of content here on YouTube, but also on Instagram. And the good thing is you'll find the exact location, so you would know where to go to if you want to come to this spot to take this beautiful photo here. Now, if you want to purchase the map, you can find the link in the descriptions or in the pinned comment. You just need to click on it, and then you're going to be redirected to Pioneer Maps. Then, since you're up in Zermatt, you should definitely head up to the Kleinmatterhorn, to the Matterhorn Glacier Paradise. This attraction is what I call the top of Switzerland. Kleinmatterhorn, or also named Matterhorn Glacier Paradise, is the place at where your chance of getting a clear sky view might be the highest. In order to reach, you need to walk to the upper part of the village and then take 2 cabin rides up to Steg. On sunny days, you'll get a fantastic view over the Matterhorn, which is now much closer to you. This, however, shall not be enough. When being up there, you have to take the teleferic to the Kleinmatterhorn, Europe's highest altitude station. When being on 3,885 meters, you have a great view over Zermatt, the Gornergrat, the Rothorn, the Matterhorn, which now feels like it was on eye level, and then you can also look down to Broi Cervinia in Italy. Standing on the platform, those 2,000 mountains suddenly feel quite small. Especially when the weather isn't the best, likely up there you'll be standing above the clouds, above heaven. Costing you around 90 Swiss francs to come up here, one may ask whether it's really worth the go after having been to the Gornergrat and the Rothorn. My answer to the question is definitely going to be yes. The Matterhorn Glacier Paradise is not only about the lookout, but also about the ice palace. Taking the elevator down, you will enter a beautifully prepared palace inside the eternal ice. So this here is a Glacier Palace. Now, the right way to go is this one on the left. It's one of 4 glacier palaces we have here in Switzerland. This is all natural ice. Very fascinating. We're really standing inside a real glacier. This is a very unique attraction the elves can only experience up on the Jungfraujoch or in the ice pavilion at Saas-Fee. Now this glacier palace, it's a bit different from the other ones. So for example, the one at Saas-Fee, it's more about the sculptures. The Titlis, it's really just a short walk. Jungfraujoch is really all polished, and then here it's really more about the natural texture of the ice. And I find that's something really cool. You can walk up here and then you'll arrive at this beautiful ice cave. Take a look at the ceiling. Wow, so beautiful. In here you can see various statues carved out of the ice. Some typical motifs are the fighting Ehringer cows, wolves, a dragon, the stars of the canton of Valais, and then also there is a Buddha and a statue of Holy Virgin Mary. Alright, and here's where I have to share an important truth with you guys. Just because you're going to be up in Zermatt does not mean that you can visit Kleinmatterhorn on every day. In principle, this attraction is open on 365 days, but the weather conditions very much affect the operation of the gondola. If it's going to be very windy, then it won't be safe to run the gondola up to the Kleinmatterhorn, which is why it will be closed for the day. Of course, spontaneous betterments of the condition may lead to the opening of the gondola, which I've experienced in early 2023. If that's the case though, for the skiers, the slopes are not going to open up and there's no chance for you to cross over to the Val Aosta in Italy. All in all, it's a great attraction with a dramatic view, a wonderful ice palace, and for many of you also the first time experiencing thin air. In Zermatt, it is important to play by the rules of Mother Nature. Yes, some of the lookout points they might remain closed, some ski slopes are not going to open up, but generally safe is the opening of the winter hiking trails. A pretty nice and easy trail leads you from Furi to the upper part of the village of Zermatt. The trail takes around 40 minutes and crosses a few small settlements. At times you'll be walking parallel to the ski tracks, which allows you to go for an après-ski with them. I really like this place here. Tatiana and we had very much fun. Otherwise, there's also Henustal, which is more like a disco already.
So, you may wonder why these people here are partying. Usually we do that here in Switzerland and in other countries in Europe. we're partying after skiing because we're celebrating the day. Well, skiing is tiring, so we consider it being an achievement.
It's a very scenic and easy hiking trail, and this is going to be included in your ticket up to the Kleinmatterhorn or to the Tokenosteig only. I've been mentioning skiing for multiple times now, and I finally tried it in this year's January. Zermatt is a true paradise for skiing. It's not only one of the most scenic ski resorts, but also one of the world's largest. This is because there is an addition to the Swiss, also an Italian site at Cervinia, Val Tournanche, laying in the French-speaking autonomous region of the Val Aosta in Italy. And here my answer to the question, is the Matterhorn perfectly shaped like a pyramid? Well, from the Swiss side it may seem so, but once you cross over to Italy, you can see the Matterhorn has this shoulder. It looks nice from both sides, but I do prefer the impression we get from Zermatt. Skiing Zermatt is absolutely great. You can see the Matterhorn from various angles, be crossing beautiful settlements, accessing great viewpoints that only can be reached on ski. Well, in some cases it's also possible through hiking. The price for ski tickets may vary from day to day, even on the day itself. Usually costs around 93 Swiss francs per day, being among the most expensive in Switzerland.
So many great things to do here in Zermatt during winter, and if you want to know how it's during summer, well, then I'm going to see in this video. Otherwise, if you're more interested in the top 10 winter attractions of Switzerland, then I'm going to see you over there.